Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me. This is Jana with Purple Girl Crafts. Today we are going to be making this rounded step card. Now this card measures about 6 by 4.5, so it's a little bit smaller than the normal cards I make. This card requires no die cuts. I did draw the characters and I have shared those on Facebook last month, I believe. So let's just dive in and get started. So for our first piece, this is going to be cut at 10 by 4.5. Right, so we're going to just set that aside because we will score it in a little bit, but first we're going to do the other pieces. We need one piece at 2 3/4 by 7.5, and we're going to score that at 3 3/4. Then we will need one piece, and this is going to be cut at 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then you'll need a piece on top of that, and this is cut at 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. And you want to kind of keep these together, so I'm just going to lay them paired up so that I know that they go together when I do the card. Then you need two pieces at 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. And then we'll need one piece at 3.5 by 2.5. And this will be for the top of the card, and then we've got that other piece, and that will be for the front of the black piece that we just did. Then we need 7 pieces, and these are 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. And then we need 7 smaller pieces, and these will be cut at 1 1/8 by 1 5/8. And those will be for the top of all those. All right, so that's it for the scoreboard for a minute. We're going to grab our trimmer, and we're going to cut our lines on here. So we're going to line this up at the 3-inch mark. And then we're going to turn this just so I can see it. And we're going to cut, and we're going to move our blade down to 8 inches. So I have to cut going towards that bar so that I know it's straight, down to 4. This way I know my paper won't move because it's got that guide all the way on the top. Then you're going to take this paper, flip it over so that the cut you just made is on the top left. Line it up again on the 3-inch mark. And then we're going to go again from the 8-inch down to the 4. And that's what you'll have. All right, so we're done with our trimmer, so we're going to go back to our scoreboard. We're going to take this piece, we're just going to lay it on the board, and we're going to just scoring. So at the 2-inch mark, we're going to score from 2 inches down to that first cut line. Then we're going to go to the 4-inch mark, and we're going to go down to the second cut line. And you'll see the points will meet up. Then we're going to go to the 6-inch mark, and we're going to go from the bottom up to the second line. And then the last one, 8 inches, and then just up to that first cut line. And this is what you should have. So you have one cut there, or square there, there, and then there. And this is the piece that we have. All right, so we're done with our scoreboards. We're going to move that out of the way. And then we're just going to fold these. So you just want to start working them. You can do it in either direction that you want because you can fold it the opposite way when you're done. You just want to kind of just get them started and bend. And then they'll fold into place once you get it going. And I'm just putting very light pressure on here just to get it to work itself in and make sure the paper will just fold. And then once you've got it kind of in that shape, just go ahead and push on it and it'll fold flat for you. I'm just making sure it's lined up. I'm not going to crease it out yet. I'm just making sure it's even on all sides and that the borders are even and it's straight. And then once I have that done, then I'll take my trim or scoring tool and I'll just crease those out. And I'm going to do it just on both sides just so that it looks nice. All right, so this is the way the paper is going to be. And then for that top piece, we're just going to fold that in half. This is the piece that we scored at 3 3/4. Crease that out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a punch. Now I'm doing a 7mm punch, and this is just a punch I got on Amazon. I will put that in the comments in the body of the video that I'm doing. And I'm just going through and we're going to do all the corners that we can. And this is what you should have. Now for our layers that we're going to do, this piece is going to go on here. So it's folded, so the fold is on the left side. And I'm only going to do the same sides that have the cutouts already. So this one we're doing the opposite corners, and we're just doing those two. We're not going to do the other two because I don't want them rounded because it doesn't match the shape of the card. Then for those two other pieces that we had put together, this will be the burgundy one and the pattern paper. These will fit inside. You just make sure they fit. So they will go inside there. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut the right corner and then the opposite left bottom corner. Again, just so that pattern is matching. And then we'll do the same thing on this other piece. This will be the layer that goes on top. And that will go just like that. And so this is the piece that's going to sit on the front and it will open. And then that other extra piece that we cut two of the same size, that one will fit on the front here. So we're going to take that one and also cut this one. So just do that corner on both opposite sides. All right, that piece is done. So that'll sit there. So we'll just set that aside. Then for the other side, this black piece will go on first. Now I'm not doing this one in 3 layers, so we're going to do the same thing. We're basically doing the same corner. So we're just going to cut where it matches the corner. And then we'll do the piece again. And that will sit right there. Right, so I'm going to set that one aside. Now we're going to do the 7 pieces that we did. So we've got the black cardstock. And I'm just going to lay these out. Turn this so you can see it just a little bit better. So I'm just laying all the pieces on so you can see where they go. And again, this piece will be on the front here. And then the bigger piece will be on the bottom. So I'm just going to lay one on top of each one of these. And then again, this piece will sit right in there. So this is how the card will look when it's done. So what we're going to do is we're going to match the design of the card again. So on this one, I'm just going to do the top 2. So wherever there's rounded corners, that's how I'm going to punch out the corners. So the first top left one, we're just going to do the top side of the corners. Then on this next one, we're going to do the 3 sides. So just like that. And then we'll do the top piece. Now this does take a little bit of time, but I like this because I like the rounded corners because it just adds a little bit of difference to the card. And it just kind of it's fun to do. All right, so we'll do the next one. Again, only matching the corners that we have. So I'm going to speed this up and just so that I can get these done. All right, so all the corners are now done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to glue these. So I'm just gluing the 2 pieces together and then I'm going to glue them down. So I'm going to put all of these down. Just making sure that they're in the center and that they're all lined up. This way you don't have to watch me glue every single one of them. All right, then for the inside, this is for that one flap. So I've glued the 2 pieces down, and then I've glued that extra one up on the top piece, and then we'll secure this to the bottom left side of the card. And then the other one we'll glue together, and this will go on the top right side of the card. Right, so that is what the card looks like so far. I just really like the rounded edges of this card. All right, so then we've got our two little birds. And again, I did share these on Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook page and look for the links, you can find these. And there is a link where you can go grab these designs if you would like to use them. So I'm going to put these on the center of the card. I'm going to put one on the inside and then one on the top. And this would look cute with any kind of characters on it. It'd be really cute with Santa on the top, and then like the top piece was a present. I get ideas as I'm crafting and realizing what else I could do. So that might be a good idea to do this. All right, then we're just going to put just saying hello on the front. Probably put him right in the middle. We're still going to put the other bird up on the top. And you could add dimensions to these and make them three-dimensional. I'm just trying to keep the card just a little bit thinner, so I don't have to pay that extra postage. All right, I like that there. And then I'm going to also grab just a bunch of hearts. So I cut out hearts in the pink, but I didn't like the pink, so I just did some burgundy ones really quick that matched the background of the paper. And I'm just going to put these just all around the card. This is going to be a heart-filled card. And we'll put our other little ostrich on the front. And then again, just filling it up with just a couple more hearts just to make it look nice. And then we'll also put some on the inside. Now you could put the pattern paper on that flap if you wanted to. I just left it, but you could put the pattern paper on there too, just to so it's not so bold when you open up the card flap. And you can do as many of these as you wanted, or you could do circles, you could do any kind of just extra embellishments. I just like the hearts. All right, so as I finish this up, that looks about good. Now you could put another message on the top, but I just left it like that. You could put another message on there. I think I'm gonna do a couple more hearts on the inside. It looks like it's bare. We're just gonna do just a couple more. And that looks a little bit better. Kind of brings that top piece with the rest of the card. That is the card that we made today. Not quite a quick card, but pretty fast. So don't forget to like this video. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy crafting, and I hope to see you real soon. Check out Facebook. Bye-bye.